If you've ever felt calmer sitting with a snake than talking to another human, you're not broken, and you're definitely not alone. Let's talk about something the reptile community doesn't talk about, and that's mental health. Because if you spend any amount of time in the reptile world, you'll notice a pattern. Many of us in the reptile community live with depression, anxiety, ADHD, autism, or other forms of neurodivergence, and that's not a coincidence. Today, I want to talk about why so many people in the reptile community are drawn to reptiles, why reptiles can feel grounding and calming, and how we as a community can better support each other when life gets heavy. This is not about reptiles curing anything. This is about understanding, regulation, and support. Why do so many of us gravitate towards reptiles? Well, many of us often live in a world that feels loud, unpredictable, and emotionally demanding. Reptiles are the opposite of that. Reptiles are predictable. They're honest, quiet, have very clear boundaries, and are emotionally neutral. They don't expect eye contact, they don't demand conversation, and they don't need you to perform happiness or energy. You can show up exactly as you are. And for a lot of us, that's the first place we feel safe doing that. And that predictability creates safety. Reptiles operate on rules. They eat on schedules. They bask under heat. They cool down when they need to. They react to their environment, not your emotions. For anxious or overstimulated brains, predictability equals safety. When the world feels chaotic, a reptile enclosure makes sense. Next, there is no social pressure. Reptiles don't guilt you for needing space, get offended if you're quiet, escalate emotionally, take your bad days personally. They exist alongside you, not on top of you. For people who are emotionally exhausted, that kind of companionship is incredibly grounding. And there is grounding through observation. Watching a reptile do reptile things, tongue flicking, slow movement, breathing, thermoregulating. It pulls your nervous system out of fight or flight and into the present moment. You're not forcing mindfulness. You're not trying to calm down. It just happens. That quiet focus matters more than people even realize. In addition, there is routine as a lifeline. For those of us with depression or ADHD, routine can be extremely difficult to maintain. Reptiles quietly create external structure, feeding schedules, temperature checks, humidity monitoring, cleaning routines. Sometimes caring for an animal is the reason someone gets out of bed that day. That doesn't make us weak, it makes us human. Now, here's the part we have to be honest about. Mental health isn't linear. There are episodes, there are crashes, and there are days when executive function disappears. And when that happens, reptile care can suddenly feel overwhelming. That doesn't mean someone doesn't love their animals. It doesn't mean they're irresponsible. It means they're struggling. And unfortunately, the reptile community does not always respond well to that. If you want to help someone during a mental health episode, here is what doesn't help. Please don't do this to someone. Do not shame them. Don't dogpile. And definitely don't say, if you can't handle it, don't keep reptiles. Tell me right now how many of those would help anyone. By pushing someone into self-harm, how would you react if someone said anything like that to you? I guarantee you wouldn't change your ways. You would just get defensive. How many of you have been the cause of that? The victim? It's rampant on social media. Let's help instead. What does help is normalizing asking for help, offering temporary practical support, such as feeding help, temporary holding, equipment lending, or even just checking in. Checking in can be huge. Understanding that burnout is not always neglect, and struggling is not a moral failure. When people feel safe asking for help, animals do better too. Again, I will say what absolutely doesn't help and can create more harm. Again, public shaming, assuming bad intent, treating mental health struggles like character flaws. Those reactions don't protect animals, they push people into silence. And silence is where real problems grow. Silence is a form of self-defense. You never know the true facts, guys, so knock it off. There has been more than one case of someone committing suicide because of online bullying and shame. In closing, I would like to say that reptiles attract people who feel deeply, think differently, need calm instead of chaos, thrive with structure and honesty, love quietly but intensely. That's not a weakness, it's different wiring, and reptiles fit that wiring beautifully. So let's please just truly support each other. If this video resonated with you, know that you're not alone here. And if you're someone in this community who's doing okay, be the kind of keeper who makes it safe for others to speak out or speak up, because compassion helps people and helping people helps animals. I love you all.
Simply stay, for in the silence we understand the beauty, the wonder, the mysteries at hand.